This video is brought to you by Paramount Scares.
The fact that it fell a second time probably proves that you put it up wrong both times.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're looking at 10 of the most normal, everyday items that the Paranormal Activity franchise made us fear.
The door's freaking moving by itself.
Oh my god.
Ouija boards.
Got something to say? Now's your chance.
It's true that these things are inherently creepy given their supposed link to the occult and the afterlife, but at the end of the day, it's just a toy. You can buy one at Walmart right next to Monopoly. The first Paranormal Activity has a great scare involving one of these boards, as Mika gets one in an attempt to communicate with the spirits.
You promised me you weren't going to, you look at me like that. You promised me you weren't going to mess with that stuff.
Katie is none too happy, and for good reason. Shortly after they leave, a big gust of wind enters the house, the planchette starts to move on its own, and best of all, the board soon catches on fire. It's a great little visual effect, and it proves one of the most unforgettable scares of the franchise.
Can you come down here and help me figure this out, please?
Sorry?
I think this thing left a message on the Ouija board.
Plastic sheets.
He died last night, man, and he got killed in there. I'm not gonna go down there anymore.
Okay, well, he had the same mark that I do. He said whatever happened to him is happening to me.
Let's just say entering a trapdoor is almost never a good idea. Jesse, Hector, and Marisol enter the creepy door in Anna's apartment, discovering some spooky material and lots of plastic sheets. Only it's the plastic sheets that end up being the real star of the show.
This is my mom. This when she was pregnant with me.
Shut up. That's Anna.
No, it's not.
Yes, that is. That's Anna.
The group starts to hear shuffling and footsteps above them, putting them all on edge. And when the unknown figure descends the staircase, it stands behind the plastic sheet, its dark outlines silently stalking the terrified group. It is amazing how you can generate a great scare using nothing but some backlight and an everyday piece of plastic. Blankets.
How about your friend Toby? Do you still talk to him? Yeah. Did he wake you up?
The third Paranormal Activity takes us back 18 years to when Katie and Christy were children. Christy has an imaginary friend named Toby, and, well, let's just say he's not a very good friend. Christy eventually tells Toby that she doesn't want to talk to him anymore, causing a meltdown of epic proportions.
No. I don't want to talk to you anymore. I'm going to bed.
He torments the young girls by moving objects in their bedroom, and in one frightful jump scare, he rips the blanket off Katie's bed and throws it towards the camera. We don't know about you, but we certainly were not expecting that. And somehow, some way, the Paranormal Activity franchise made us fear cozy, warm blankets.
Just ignore it!
TVs. Do you tend to fall asleep on your couch with the TV on? Sure, we all do on occasion. So does Allie, but let us tell you, she made us think twice about it. She passes out one night, and the living room TV turns to static. That's a big nope already, but it gets even worse. A misty shadow suddenly materializes, as if emerging from the static, and approaches the sleeping Allie. We don't know what its intentions were, but they can't have been good. She startles awake just in time. The shadow disappears, and the TV returns to normal. Sorry, but if televisions have the power to conjure wispy shadow demons, then we are not keeping that sucker on at night. Pots and pans.
How could I put it up wrong? It's on a hook. Once it goes up, it's up.
You're probably putting it on the edge of the top part instead of inside.
These cooking instruments have an uncanny ability to frighten us with their distinctive clangs, especially at night when they should not be moving. Paranormal Activity 2 has a number of good scares involving pots and pans, each one as effective as the last. They drop from racks and clang on the countertop, move on their own like leaves in the wind, and one even catches on fire when the stove ignites by itself. We can't not have pots and pans in our house, but we're definitely not hanging them from a rack going forward. Not after this movie. Beds. There should be nothing more sacred or more harmless than climbing into your own bed after a long day. Of course, Paranormal Activity had to go and ruin that too. Beds are a mainstay throughout the franchise, and it's amazing how much creative mileage it gets out of them. In fact, there are a number of different scares involving beds. There are subtle, disaffecting scares, like the eerie creaking of a house while you're laying alone in the dark bedroom. There are deep-seated primal scares, like having someone standing over you as you sleep. And there are good old-fashioned jump scares, like being dragged out of bed by an unseen and malevolent presence. Doors.
Because I need to get things back to normal. Mom, I gotta go. Someone's at the door, okay? I'll call you back.
We don't care how many times we see a door slowly moving on its own. That kind of stuff will always creep us out, especially if an eerie creak is involved. The ghosts of Paranormal Activity love playing with doors, whether it's violently slamming them shut or silently moving them inches. Sometimes they even knock on the front door of a house before disappearing, like a young prankster playing Ding Dong Ditch. We don't know what it is about moving doors that makes them so inherently terrifying, but this franchise puts those fears to superb use. Cabinets. The second Paranormal Activity contains a brilliant bait and switch, and we think our hearts have been permanently damaged because of it. Christy is sitting in the kitchen when she suddenly gets one of those nasty feelings, the feeling of being watched. She sits up and turns around to look into the living room, so naturally, our eyes are drawn to the room as well. Surely something is going to happen in there. Just then, in the midst of the deep, intense silence, every cabinet door in the kitchen bursts open with a powerful bang. Jump scares can be cheap and manipulative when done poorly, but this was expertly done. Great setup, great payoff, and no annoying music cue to startle the audience.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Did something just happen?
Completely fine. Everything is fine.
Chandeliers.
Stay upstairs. Stay upstairs. Don't come down here. There's glass on the floor. Stay there.
Do you have a chandelier in your home? If you do, you either ripped it out after watching these movies, or you're giving it a paranoid second glance every now and then. The first Paranormal Activity contains an effective sequence with Katie and Mika seeing their chandelier swinging by itself in the darkness. But hey, that's just a gust of wind, right? Well, that excuse doesn't fly come Paranormal Activity 4. This film pays homage to the original, as Alex's chandelier starts to move on its own. Yeah, we've seen that before, you say.
What the fuck?
But that's when a second chandelier falls from the ceiling and erupts with a piercing crash. Gotcha. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Powder.
And exactly what is this going to prove?
Well, if anything walks through here, it's gonna leave a pretty good footprint.
We don't know how these movies managed to make freaking powder scary, but hats off to them. In one of the series' best sequences, Mika puts talcum powder on the floor outside their bedroom in an attempt to see the ghost. Well, it works. The couple wakes up and finds that the powder has been disturbed, with demonic footsteps leading towards their bed.
You know what? There's footsteps in, but there's no footsteps out.
The visual is unbelievably creepy, as is the implication. This ghost has entered the room and was watching the couple sleep for its own sick amusement. What a fantastic and creative sequence, pulled off with nothing more than some creepy footsteps and some powder.
Footprints stop over here.
I think this would be a trap. Please, let's go.
Have you been looking at these objects differently? Let us know in the comments below.
Don't do that to me. You scared me.
This video is brought to you by Paramount Scares.